Bob, I am done pushing your buttons, but I know we've
Oh,
got a
darn.
big audience out there. We've asked a couple of Kevin's questions, which were fantastic. But why don't we open it up to our great audience? If anyone has any questions, I know there's a chat feature here. You can also come off mute, fire away, or whatever you're comfortable doing, and we can round out the hour by answering your questions on title insurance or any other relevant real estate legal compliance topic. We're here for you.
I want to answer Kevin's first question, if I may, Mariah.
Go for it.
And Kevin asked basically, he's thinking about starting an insurance company and saying, boy, capitalization is really a difficult hurdle. And what this is that the state regulators, when you go to form an insurer, you have to capitalize that insurance company so that they know that if there are claims, you can satisfy those claims. Well, the amount of capitalization that is required is based on a number of factors. And it isn't necessarily as high as you might think it is, because it is at least one of the factors for calculating the amount of capitalization of insurance company is the duration of the loans at issue when you're insuring a loan, and the tail liability that's associated with that. And in the case of the kind of loans that we're talking about here, which are short-term loans, capitalization is not as much as it would be for a 30-year transaction. The typical ownership of a single-family home was 7 years and change. So on a 30-year conventional mortgage, the insurer might be exposed for 7.5 years, whereas on a loan or the ownership duration for a loan to Flipper Mike is going to be less than a year. And so it's easier to capitalize if that's the product. So, but I've never formed an insurance company, as much as I've wanted to do so over the years. And so I don't have a ton of expertise in that area. But the other thing, Kevin, is you don't need much capital to become a closing agent. And so that would be a way to start participating in because you could receive potentially, in my example from quite a few years ago, 50% of the premium. And so you're participating in the title insurance business without actually forming an insurer. So that's kind of my, that is running far afield of the interest of Flipper Mike or most flippers who are really interested in flipping properties and making money as real estate investors, as opposed to making money as insurers. But those are kind of my thoughts on that for Kevin. That was a great question.
Mike, Bob, are there other questions that y'all have approached or seen time and time again that you think, are particularly important before, we have any further key takeaways?
Well, I'll say this about title insurance and what's going on in the title insurance world, and let our members know that we're not unmindful of this. I mean, in addition to the dollar cost of title insurance, there is a delay. There's a time cost associated with title insurance, especially where a survey must be obtained. That adds even more time to the closing, and that's a significant issue for people like Flipper Mike. And there have been some fin insure companies who have been working on trying to reduce the amount of time that they can issue, within which they can issue a policy. And those policies are being done, and basically they can issue a policy they can issue a commitment rather within seconds. Of course, we didn't talk, not of course, but we didn't really talk about loans close on a binder or a title insurance commitment, which is not an actual final title policy. But those are things issued by the closing agent as agent of the principal insurer that describe the final title policy that is to be issued. But then there is a final title policy issued later, and that's, I believe, still true with these automated underwriting products. And these products are typically only available in jurisdictions where the land records have been automated. And so the insurers can actually review the condition of title on an automated basis in order to generate a commitment within a few seconds. Now, unfortunately, thus far, those kinds of policies are not available outside of the owner-occupied consumer loan context. But we at Backflip are working with some title insurers to see if we can, because our product, unlike the average commercial loan, is very similar to a consumer product. And so we might be able to, at least from an insurance standpoint, it obviously differs from a consumer loan in many other respects, but from a title insurance standpoint, it's very similar, and so similar collateral, for example. And so I think there's a possibility in the next year or so that we will be able to start pioneering something like that with an insurer and reducing the time to close. And so we won't have to wait for a title search to be done and the land records to be analyzed by the closing agent or an attorney in an attorney closed state before they issue a commitment. And so we are working to try to participate in this advancement in the title insurance industry.
Well, wonderful, Mariah. I think with that hopeful note, there's a light at the end of the title insurance tunnel here. Good things on the horizon. This is fantastic. Bob, you've shared a wealth of knowledge. You've certainly answered my questions. And kudos again to you, Mariah, for setting this up. Always happy to participate in these dialogues. And we'll tee it up for you to send us away here.
Sounds good. Well, thank you both so much. Really, really appreciate it. We'll be sending around a follow-up email tomorrow that'll, one, announce the winner of the Home Depot gift card, two, that'll have a recording of this session so you can refer to it, and our presentation so you can always, refer back. That being said, we're always available. We'll share that in email if you need to reach out, if you just want advice or help. We are happy to do that. So thank you all so much for coming. And from us here at Backflip, have a great rest of your evening and take care.